Hello everybody, my name is Joy and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. Now this game was recommended to me by a bunch of people. I know very little about it, so let's get to it. My name is Level Joy. Oh. There we go. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Is this about me? That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me.
Ha! I overslept again! But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you.
Oh, that's my voice, sorry.
You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Level Joy. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something.
Fine. Oh, fine.
But you didn't wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to.
Whatever you say, Sayori. I don't know how to make that noise. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Level Joy, have you decided on a club to join yet?
A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either.
That's so not true. You told me you would join a club this year.
Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime.
Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know.
Well, thanks!
And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world.
A NEET?
You trust me, right?
I have no idea what a NEET means.
Don't make me keep worrying about you.
Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises though. Yeah, by the way, people requested I do voices. I suck at voices, you knew this beforehand, but you keep requesting, so I'm gonna do it. Good luck with that. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, thank God. Just wanted to make sure I was actually recording here. Wouldn't want to be screaming to myself in weird voices, would I? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know.
Know what?
Well, that you could come to my club.
Sayori...
Yeah?
There is no way I'm going to your club.
Meanie.
Yeah, why am I being so mean? Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited a title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
Come on, please.
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And that Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or is she so cunning as to have planned all of this out. Am I wearing a fedora right now? Is this camera gonna reverse on me and reveal... Nah, never mind. I let out a long sigh. Oh. Fine. I'll stop by you for a cupcake, alright?
Yes, let's go.
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I've been there. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Oh, why am I clicking out? Don't do that. Do not. Okay, thank you.
Everyone, the new member is here.
I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Oh god, I'm gonna have to make up voices. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy?
Way to kill the atmosphere.
Ah, little Joy, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Oh, words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, who is apparently named Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. A small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Weird way to phrase that. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. Oh god, now I gotta remember what the voices were. Oh wait, that's Sayori.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Level Joy. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down, Little Joy. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I'll make them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take the seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da!
Impressed noise. Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Well, you know.
Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, look for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
What? Why are you thanking me? It's not like I...
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
made them for you or anything.
I thought you technically did. Sayori said,
Well, maybe. But not for you, you know, dummy.
Alright, right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. You know what, I'm gonna write down their names because I'm gonna forget. Yuri. So I know. After all, doesn't a hot cup of coffee or tea, hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
Okay, there's Monica. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me.
So, what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy, so... FK, Sayori.
That's okay.
Don't be embarrassed.
We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay?
As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year?
Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budgets and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica's a really great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah!
We'll do our best.
You know it.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. I'm missing one name and I forgot which one. I'm thinking I'm missing the pink girl. Yeah, I think so. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why we're also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Level Joy, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. When am I gonna make horrifying decisions? Hold on, let me just save. Before I reach that point. Yeah. I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. I like Yuri, she's so nice. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. What was your voice again? I hate horror. Oh, why is that?
Well, I just...
Okay. Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind.
That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
What? What gives you that idea?
You left this piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. I'm really trying to nail these voices, man. Let me know if I'm doing any good, by the way. I have no clue how this is gonna sound like when I'm gonna edit this. Oh my god. I'm gonna need days to recover. You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud. And give that back.
Fine, fine.
You cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori settles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
I'm not cute.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well,
I guess sometimes.
Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You won't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. What was your voice again? Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri.
I wanted to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment.
Okay.
I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even.
Yeah, let's do it!
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of our club. Isn't that right, Level Joy? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind for the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to go look around and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought...
Level Joy.
You all... I am defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Sayuri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment.
If you really came for just the cupcakes, I would be super pissed.
Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Level Joy, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hehe. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Level Joy, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right, so Yuri and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. Excuse me, I was promised some mind-numbing trauma here. I haven't quite seen that just yet. Okay, or have I already made some earth-shattering decision I'm just not aware of it? Alright, we make our way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever the oh, really? Alright, so I gotta save here. I gotta write a poem. I gotta let my creative juices flow. I gotta do something erotic, exotic. Let's see, I really like, see, was it Yuri? Yeah, I believe Yuri. I really like her. She seems so nice. She seems calm too. Let's see. I don't know, she's kind of a deep person, so I guess nightgown. Let's see, entropy sounds complicated. Graveyard. Let's go full emo on this one. Blah, blah, blah. Effulgent. I don't even know what that means. My god, I'm sorry, I'm not a native English speaker. I'm just gonna randomly pick words that sound difficult and emo. Okay, vertigo. Vertigo sounds good. Unending love. My unending love and ending depression. I'm in disarray. I was trying to make this rhyme, but this isn't working. I'm in disarray of this confusing ambient, and the sadness inside me makes for a vivacious flavor in my mouth, and yet a heaven-sent after-image passes my sight, and I am struck by the melancholy of an unknown treasure. Man, how many do I have to pick? Oh, 20. I atone for my anxiety, and I plot my wrath in agonizing, intellectual. Yeah, that works. That works for slam poetry. Monica, hi again, Level Joy. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Level Joy. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack.
So you already told me...
So you already told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't even know if you plan just to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in her club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. That was Soryu. Oh yeah, that was Soryu.
Don't worry, guys. Lovejoy always gives his best along.
Oh, okay, I guess. Well, technically Joy is a unisex name, so I'd be okay with that. But her name is Sayori. Then I have been confusing characters. Okay. Okay, so Sayori is, okay, the cute one, right.
He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Lovejoy can become good friends too.
Oh god, she's gonna do it, isn't she? She's gonna kill everyone. I better make friends with her. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when really it's not. Oh wait, sorry. What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, it will make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't even have noticed you in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What is it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in a high school who moves in with a long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yes, she likes the emo stuff. I nailed it with my poem. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Leveljoy? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, where you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with their villainous plans. With the villain's plans. Well, you kind of spoiled the thing for me, Yuri. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Oh, alright. I open the book and start the prologue. Prologue. Hold on, how do you pronounce that? I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particular bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking down at her book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... You really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against yours, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so? Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb's gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into her head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But level joy. That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if I haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! So Yuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. So Yuri is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Wow, wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, of course, it's going to be Yuri. Because I made it for her, I made it with her in mind. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. Besides, I like doing her voice, it's a lot more relaxing than the squeaky ones. I couldn't trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Okay, this is getting... I'll be honest here, this is getting a little too much of a good thing here. I mean, there's cute shy and there's, you know, psychopathic, maybe, huh? The kind of, hey, I'm gonna kill the whole school in a few seconds. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time. Really? Huh. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think it's the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. Now, why would you say that? In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, me, or Natsuki. Oh wait, Natsuki was the pink girl, right? Oh, I finally got her name. Okay, Natsuki. It's the pink one. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity to her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Click outside the poem area to continue. Oh, okay. That wasn't part of the poem, by the way. Sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Oh, now you're calling me slow again? Yuri, thanks a lot. Well, I just don't read scripts very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Okay, fine, look down on me. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Level Joy. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of deep enigma hidden in there, Yuri. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort. unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could possibly learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Level Joy. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, I'm gonna be doing that in the next episode. I suppose I like the game so far. I mean, I don't really know what to think of yet because I'm kind of expecting hell to break loose at any point. But I do like this. I actually used to write poetry a lot. But I'm not gonna say any about that. So hold on, let me just save. Empty slot. I'm trying to do separate saves because I got a feeling like there's gonna be a point of no return where I make horrifying decisions. I think I've already made a bunch of decisions here that are going to affect the rest of the story. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this game. Let me know how much you cringed at the voices today. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. There'll be a link down in the description if you want to play this game for yourself. Bye!